Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. So, I was not playing when I posted earlier that today is a lazy day. I literally still have on my pajamas, and it is Maghrib where I am. But I needed to rest. I was like so tired today for some reason. I am still in my pajamas all day long. The only thing that I have done today is pray, read, take a nap, and eat. Yeah, basically. That's all I did today. If you are friends with me or follow my personal Facebook page, my husband totally took advantage of the fact that I put my phone aside and I was relaxing because he went on my phone and he posted an unauthorized post on my thing. My husband played too much. Talking about it. So if on my page, it said there is a post. The last post says, I'm thinking about having a mid-40s baby. What do y'all think? Bruh, my husband stole my phone and while I was asleep and he posted that. I did not post that. Everybody who commented on that post, who said, I know this must be you. Are you going crazy? This doesn't sound like you. Y'all are squad. Everybody else, especially people who was like, yeah, do it, kick rocks. Like, y'all know I did not post that. Walaikum salam, Natalie. I'm like, see, I take my code off my phone for a hot minute. I got a new phone. And so now I have so the new phone, so I don't have the code on it because I was doing all the transfer stuff, and he goes on my phone and he posts unauthorized posts. But that's okay. It was an unofficial test of who my real friends are. It was a total unofficial test of who my real friends are. Let me see if I can. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to go live on Instagram, and this is gonna be new because I'm gonna try and hold two phones. We're gonna see how this works out. I don't know. Okay, I think that might work, as long as I don't move. So I'm trying to be on Instagram. Hey, Instagram. So I'm trying to be on Instagram and Facebook at the same time. Yes, my husband took my phone and he posted, Instagram. He went and he posted that I'm thinking about having a mid-40s baby. So first of all, if you don't know, I have 4 children already. They are all grown. And I'm not thinking about having a baby at all. My baby is 19. He is in college, actually literally on his way home now for a break. Yay! If I had another baby right now, y'all need to be concerned about my mental health. Like, raising 4 children was more than enough. I have 3 boys and 1 girl, and let me say to parents who have more than 1 girl, may Allah bless you, because girls are a lot of work. And I say that as a girl. I'm sure I was a lot of work. I'm pretty sure I was like more work than a couple of my siblings, even though I had siblings that was more work than me. But girls are a lot of work, for real. Like, do you have boys or girls? So if you have kids, tell me what you have. Do you have boys? Do you have girls? Do you agree with that girls are much? So here's why I say girls, and I know this is not even the title of self-care. We're going to get to self-care. But I think girls are more work because they require more emotional support, right? Boys are not as well until they become husbands, and then they require a whole bunch of stuff. But raising girls is more work because it requires more emotional support. And I think it has a lot to do as well as like the type of person that you are. Like, I'm not a emotional, touchy-feely, gotta hug kind of person all the time. And so having a daughter forced me to come out of my comfort zone. Like, without a daughter, so alhamdulillah, Allah gives you exactly what you need. But I think that without a daughter, I would probably be even more kind of like, I guess I would be harder, right? So a girl, that everybody needs at least one, right? Girls soften you. They do require a lot of work. They require more clothes. They require, like, when my daughter, when she got about 7 or 8, me and my husband realized that we could never leave the house with her and return without spending at least $50 to $100. Like, it was just like she always wanted something, needed something. Like, even if it wasn't, and we didn't like buy unnecessary stuff. It would be like, oh, we're in the store, and she's like, oh, mommy, I need new underwear, I need a coat, I need this, she just always needed something extra. So my mother, she had 4 girls and 1 boy. Lord have mercy. May Allah have mercy on her, because I know that was a lot of work. Having girls is a lot of work. But I am not, so people who are on my page, I am not, and I repeat, am not thinking about having a baby in my 40s. I am 43. That's it. No more babies for me. No. Not gonna happen. I'm not even thinking about that in REM sleep. I am getting ready to be a queen mother. My daughter-in-law is getting ready to have a baby for our family. Well, it's for her. She knows it's for the family. It continues the legacy. But I am looking forward to having a grandbaby. There's no way. Even though, funny story, my mother had a baby, was pregnant along with my sister. So my little sister is actually 2 weeks older than her first niece. I was 7 years old, and I vividly remember holding my baby sister at 2 weeks in the family waiting room while my mother would go and spend time with my sister and her husband while they were in labor, and then run back to the waiting room to me and my little sister, and she would breastfeed, and then she would go back. I vividly remember that. I was babysitting my 2-week-old sister while my mother was being with my older sister in labor and delivery room. So don't want that to happen. No. That was crazy. So today is my self-care day, and it is a relaxing self-care day. And for me, I think that it's really important that at least one day a week that I keep my schedule clear. So I'm really flexible. I love what I do, right? As a health and fitness trainer. Now I'm working with more clients in person in my studio, and I really do have a schedule where I tell them, hey, we can schedule sessions 6 days a week. Like, I don't mind having a client Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I don't have clients all day long, so I can have a flexible schedule, but never on Saturdays, right? Because I need one day where I just, again, it's about filling your own cup, and we talked about this in a couple live sessions, right? So it's about having one day where you're not giving to others, that you're only giving to yourself. So let me know, what are some of the things that you do for self-care? Self-care doesn't always mean going to spend $100 to get a facial, or $120 to get a massage, or getting a manicure, pedicure. Self-care doesn't mean you have to spend money, right? And I think that is the internet makes us think that somehow that's what self-care is. It's like, oh, today is my self-care day. I'm spending a whole day at the spa. Honestly, like, even when I can afford to go and spend a whole day at the spa, I certainly can't afford to do that every single week. Sometimes I'm like, I just don't want to be around people, right? I don't want to have a conversation with the lady who is, sanding my feet or painting my nails. I don't want to hear the conversation. I just want to be by myself. And I am an extrovert, and so I love being around people, but I don't think anybody is 100% extrovert. I think that that there's always going to be a time where you're just like, no shade, I just don't want to be around you. It's okay. So, and self-care does not necessarily have to be an all-day thing. Alhamdulillah, I am very grateful that I am in a position where I am empty nesting. I don't have children, but even when I did have kids, I always took some time for myself. And the time for yourself isn't selfish. It isn't. I was talking to a friend last night about mom guilt, right? Her son is 18. He's a senior in high school, and she still tries to be home at a certain time because she has mom guilt. Mom guilt is that, oh, I should be there for my kids, even though as a teenager, like, they probably don't even care, like, that you are not there all the time. They like, hey, I got some freedom, right? So we have to get rid of that mom guilt, that idea that our kids have to be attached to us every single second, right? So you need time to replenish and fill your own cup so that you can give to others. So think about it. And it took me a while actually to understand what self-care was and why it was necessary. So it took me a minute to say, you know what? I am a person too, right? I am a person too. Dean Life said, I have no mom guilt. That's good. That's good. Having no mom guilt is a good thing because that means you are good at refilling your own cup. One of the things that I did intentionally as a mom is I realized when I became a mom how I never really thought about my mom as like a real person, so to speak. Like when I say real person, of course she's like a real person. She was a real person, but you never think of, well, I didn't as growing up. I did not think of my mom because my mom was, stereotypical strong Black woman, right? We could talk about that on a whole nother live. What does that actually mean and how that in itself and trying to live up to that can create self-imposed trauma in our lives. But she was always strong. I think I can remember maybe, 3 times in my whole life that I've seen her cry. Maybe 3 or 4 times. And so when I became a mom, I was insistent that I was going to have my kids be able to know that I get hungry, I get tired, I get sad, I get happy. And so I was really intentional with telling them that. I can remember one particular time where I was eating and I fed the kids and then I was eating my food. And my son came over to me. I don't know, he was maybe about 4 or 5 years old. And he was like, can I have that? Whatever we were eating, he wanted more of it and he wanted my food. And I told him, I said, no, you cannot have my food. This is mommy's food. Mommy's hungry. You ate your food. And my mother was like, oh, give that baby the food. And I was like, nope, I'm not. He needs to understand that I am a human being. I get hungry. He can't eat his food and my food. And I was really intentional about that, even though I would not have starved, obviously, if I had given him my food, right? But I was very intentional of him learning that lesson, that I was a human being. It's really, really important. See, Dean Life gets it. She was intentional in that too. Natalie says, I'm currently in remission from breast cancer diagnosis early this year. So my self-care is trying to have alone time to exercise, which is something that was very hard to do until just a few years ago. Mom guilt is so real. Alhamdulillah, I'm glad that you are in remission from breast cancer. So congratulations for that. May Allah continue to give you good health. And yes, if that is what if your self-care is exercise, go for it. Whatever it means to you. I think that because we are on the internet these days, we tend to try to find definitions of things based on memes and posts, but it's important that you make a definition of your own what self-care is for you, right? For a long time, exercise was self-care for me too. It was a way for me to get away from my kids, first of all. When you got 4 kids and they all 2 years apart, sometimes you just need to escape. And the best escape is to go exercise it out. But now I have that freedom of not having little kids, which is why I'm not thinking about having a baby at 40. Not. Ignore the post on my Facebook page. My husband did that. I did not do that. Okay? I can't reiterate that enough. So, so whatever that is for you. So, Dean Life says, self-care means many things to me. Minimally is sleeping in. Oh, I did that today. They can make breakfast on their own. Yep. What do we used to call it? In our house, we used to call it a yo-yo day. A yo-yo day, a yo-yo meal was you're on your own. So if I had leftovers inside the refrigerator and I did not feel like cooking, and this is especially when the kids got older and they could throw stuff in the oven, and I taught my kids how to cook pretty early. So by the time they were like 10, 12, well, to me that was early. By the time they was like 10, they could at least go on the stove and make some pancakes or something. And we used to call it yo-yo meals. And I and I remember as my son was getting older and he was becoming a teenager, he was like, we're having a lot of yo-yo days. When are you going to cook again? I'm like, bruh, you going to get one meal out of me, okay? That was by the time they was teenagers. And I was like, you know what? Y'all can cook. You got hands. But you know what? Don't want to do that for little kids. Camila says, I always feel guilty when I get the chance to do something without the kids while I'm out, etc. I think the kids, and then I'm like, I should have brought them with me. You know what? That is such a real thing. Like, I remember going to the store and it's like my day and I'm like, oh, I should get this because, you know, the kid, she would like this or he would like that, or, you know, oh, I'm going to bring the kids to see that. Oh, look, there's a new, you know, playground. I'm going to think, and I'm thinking about what I'm going to do with the kids instead of thinking about myself. Like that's definitely not a good thing. Especially if your whole goal is for you to have self-time. Really get yourself out of thinking about the kids. So when this was reiterated to me, kind of really how you train your thoughts into replenishing and giving back to yourself was really, you know, I tell y'all all my business. I've been married for 27 years. In that 27 years, we've had, everything isn't always rosy. We've actually had marriage counseling before. And I can remember the counselor telling us, like, your homework is to go out together, and the only rule that you have is you cannot mention the kids. Like, that was literally our homework. It is very beneficial, by the way. So if you're having a problem connecting with your spouse, I would certainly recommend that as an exercise. Go out, y'all can talk about everything else except for the kids. And he was like, I don't care if you spend the whole night gossiping about people. Whatever you're talking about, you just cannot mention your kids. It has to be about the two of you connecting. I was like, okay. He wasn't Muslim, but, you know, we didn't gossip. We're not the gossiping type. But it really does, what it speaks to is how important it is for you to, in that self-care is not just the physical action, is actually the mental disconnecting from the other stuff that you are doing on a daily basis. I call it just taking off the hats, right? Taking off all of your khimar. We're Muslims, so we wear khimars, right? Instead of wearing 50 hats, we wear 50 khimars. I need to get rid of some of my khimars. I got a lot of khimars. Taking off some of the hats, right? Dean Life said, I think the trick is to live in the moment. When I go out, I do think of the kids, but don't allow myself to go to guilt. I take a deep breath and be present, and that's really helpful. Yes, yes. That is great advice. You think about them, but try to be present in where you are, being present in your body. And what that means is literally taking a minute. So there is a great app called, I think it's called Mindful. I'll see if I can put the link in my stories. And it gives me these notifications throughout the day, and each one of the notifications just reminds you to be present and take a breath. So like it can be the middle of the day at like 2:30, and I'll get a ding on my phone, and the notification would say things like, take a minute. What does your lip feel like right now? And you're like, okay. I need to be present. What does my lips feel like? Or is your toes cold right now? Right? So really telling you to, like, whatever you're doing, come back into your body and be present in your body. Like when we talk about being present, it's about really observing the details of what's going on around you, right? So you can be in a place and everything is just moving around fast. Everything is happening. Think of kind of like in Times Square. Have you ever seen a movie of like people are walking around and they sort of kind of like blur those people around and they focus on one person or one thing? That is kind of like the visualization of what it means to be present, right? So it's really important that when you do that you just take note of the little details that's inside of your environment and in your body. Just little things like, is my nose cold? Is my nose warm? Right? Things like that. Camilla said, there is no showing on your face, mashallah. You're sure not planning? No, I'm not. No. She said, you sure you're not planning to have a baby? Nope. 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 I'm good. Now, I don't know if, inshallah, it's like actual Noor, but like, I've been having a hard time sleeping this week. And I'm like, hey, I'm up and it's tahajjud. Let me throw some rakats in there. So maybe that's helping me. I don't know. But it's definitely not the baby thing. Definitely not the baby thing. That's so funny. So today is my Saturday self-care, and that is kind of like what I did. Hopefully, if you did not take time for yourself today, if you have more time today, you can take a couple of hours today or a couple of hours tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sunday, and it is going to be what is today, like the 14th? I have been really consistent. I said that I was going to come live every day during December, and I've been really consistent, and I'm really proud of myself. Yay! Pat on the back, yay! But I like talking to you guys, so hopefully in January I can continue to come live and talk to you guys. I will. All right, so inshallah, tomorrow it is. I will talk to you then. I will try to, what's tomorrow, Sunday? It will definitely be an afternoon chat. All right. If you have any questions or any topics that you would like for me to talk about, you can either put them in a comment or send them to me in a DM. And inshallah, I will put them on the list of things to talk about to the end of the month. So we have about 2 more weeks. Yes. Thanks for tuning in. All right. That's so funny, Camilla. Yes. I'm going to give my husband an earful when he get back into this house. He posted that and then he had an errand to run. So I'm thinking like, oh, I'm just disconnecting and I'm asleep. I wake up and I look at and I'm like, what is all these comments for? So anyway, all right, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum.